Do forgive my voice. I've been conversing with a lot of people today, and as such, my throat is not what it was this morning, and my voice is a tad raspy. But today's been set aside for recording, so I'm going to do it regardless. So, sorry about that, but we'll just have to deal with it. So, good evening, or morning, or I'm not going to get into the time zone issue again. Video 1 was more than enough where that's concerned. My goodness, it's positively freezing here. I wouldn't mind as much if it was accompanied by snow, but that doesn't appear to be happening. Snow's the best part of it being winter, and we can't have a Christmas without snow. It's just not standard protocol. It is winter, and I expect snow. Because I can drag Break and Dream outside, and we have so much fun. One can never grow tired of a snowball fight, especially when you have Break on your team. Haha. But the point of this entry is not to get nostalgic, it's to answer a question, which I haven't done in a week. Yes, and I apologise if, for whatever strange reason you might have, you're expecting my admin to speak as well. She's still eating. How? How are you still eating? You've put away enough to feed the homeless shelter.
You're making me sound like a pig.
That's because you're acting like a pig.
Point taken.
Exactly. So, moving on, what question have we got? Anonymous has posted, has there ever been an occasion where you've managed to embarrass Break? If so, do share. I don't know if I would say that I've embarrassed him, more so I've sort of humiliated him. And both times were not intentional. I meant one time! I don't come across very well in these answers, do I? I sound like such a despicable person. But yes, I have embarrassed Break, and they were involuntary incidents. In one incident, I was provoked, and in another, I was too young to know any better. So, let's start with the incident in which I was driven to embarrass Break, because it plays more in my favour. Though, then again, I wound up disgracing myself as well. To begin, all you need to know is that Break made a careless remark in relation to me. Not to insult me, per se. I'd like to think that he'd never do that. It's just something that resulted in me becoming rather riled up, very riled up, actually. So much so that I was after his head. Not in a literal sense. I just wished to find his head and severely knock some sense into it. I'd like to say that I gracefully traversed the entire estate looking for Break, but it was more of a demented hunt, which included opening every cupboard and checking under every possible surface. But I found Gilbert, thank goodness, and he kindly informed me that he had just witnessed Break making his way down a corridor that I had missed out. I took off down said corridor, and what do I hear? But Emily! On the other side of a door. Now you see, this is the part where Break lost some dignity, because I proceeded to burst in and beat him to a pulp, calling him every name under the sun, loudly informing the empty room of the nasty thing that Break had said. And now you see, this is the part where I lost some dignity, because do you recall me just saying the empty room? It wasn't empty, they were beginning a meeting, until young Lady Rainsworth shot through the door and across the room, and revealed to many lords and many dukes that she has quite an uncontrollable temper. Oh dear.
You're blushing like crazy right now.
Again with the eating!
Yes, is there a problem?
Oh, let's move on. So, the second incident, also with which I cannot be blamed for what happened, due to the fact that I was a child, and that's more than enough of an excuse.
Is it?
Well, it will be when I explain. Actually, I was already in the process of embarrassing him. This, what I'm about to tell you, was just the icing on the cake, if you will. Oh, cake, I could go for some cake right now. I'll forget what I said. Allow me to take you back to a time in my youth, known as the first time I invited Break to a tea party. I don't know what he was complaining about. He looked so pretty. The dress really complimented his complexion. But yes, We were at the table together, and I was pouring him my best blend with my pretty pink teapot. Brake took it like a man, sat there, didn't say anything, and wore a perpetual frown. But he complied. Good boy. Until Mother and Grandmother came in. And then he looked a little terrified. Face like a fawn. A red-faced fawn. And he tried to leave. He had the audacity to try and escape during tea. He tried to get up and escape during tea. How outrageous! And in that dress he wouldn't get very far. But I was not about to let him go. No, sir. Nobody leaves a Sharon tea party when it's not yet finished. So I slammed my teacup down, pushed back my chair, stalked over to him with the biggest pout I could muster, and stared up at him, which hurt quite a bit because he's tall and I'm not. And I said something along the lines of, I do not recall giving you permission to excuse yourself from the table. We're in the middle of enjoying tea break and you're not behaving like a proper lady. Now please sit down, strike up a conversation with lovely Mr. Snuggles, who's been trying to talk to you for the past 10 minutes, and enjoy yourself! My mother was on the floor. And Grandmother was doubled over too. And Mr. Snuggles couldn't stop smiling. And Brake, well, he hung his head and slumped back to his seat. It's so fun having authority over someone. Of course he didn't see it that way. We came to an agreement eventually. Instead of dresses, the torture was reduced to just bows. Lots of bows. And the other compromise was that Reem had to join in as well. Both agreements were met. Apologies, Reem. Anyway, those are the times in which I've embarrassed Brake. They're not exactly the most exciting occurrences, but what can you do? Someone like Brake doesn't get flustered very easily. So I consider these events to be milestones. I have achieved something that not many people can.
Well done, you.
Sarcasm is not appreciated.
And why are you doing it now?
Oh, be quiet and eat your biscuits.
Okay.